Tusculum Pioneers, despite a furious comeback, fall short to the Newberry Wolves this past Saturday in South Atlantic Conference play by a final of 24-19. In the 24th renewal of this great rivalry, the Newberry Wolves get their 13th win. Plus, winning in the spring, now in the calendar year, they defeated Tusculum 3 straight overall. Always a thrilling contest. Unfortunately, the Pioneers weren't on the plus side of it this year. Joined by Pioneer coach Jerry Odom, a Pioneer team that went in with a great game plan. Number one rusher in the conference was coming in. Dre Harris, one of the most versatile quarterbacks potentially in the league, was coming in here. You guys did a great job with him. Just some of the special teams. We talked about that this week, and they got a special team score, and it kind of separated them just a little bit this past Saturday.
No, it's what we talked about. When you get a punt blocked, and it's one kid just busted an assignment. If you get a punt blocked, you're 70% chance of not winning that football game, and especially for a punt block for a score.
Right.
We don't even have a chance to go in there and defend it, try to, get it off. It's demoralizing, and I've got to do a better job coaching it. Make sure our coaches understand, exactly what we got to get accomplished. We got to teach that young man who busted better. And, there's really nothing else to say. I mean, at the end of the day, it's on me because we didn't get that done. And it's disappointing for sure that we had that, missed an extra point, missed a 38-yard field goal. Those are the differences in the game. And you can't do those things in a closely contested game that's pretty evenly matched and expect to win the football game. And that's what happened. I mean, give them the credit. They deserve to win.
The Pioneers defensively against number one rusher Mario Anderson hold him to 55 yards. Dre Harris didn't get his running game going, his passing game going. Your defense did a great job, and we were -1. Jermaine, we didn't have him for more than half the contest, and I felt like everyone else over there stepped up and played extremely well. Defense you hold somebody under 300 yards, 270 yards for that matter, 250 yards for that matter. Outstanding job by your defense.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm responsible for everybody, and at the end of the day, they shouldn't even have that. I mean, we had 2 blitzes on where we screwed up the blitz, building a wall on the backside. We blitz right into where they were going to go, and we don't get outside, and he athletically makes a play that's going to get a score. And the second one, they run the reverse, and we got a corner blitz right into it, and the corner doesn't go. He just freezes. And can't really understand, so they would have never gotten that reverse off. So that's a little frustrating. There's no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, like I said, I mean, we've got to play better. It's not an offense-defensive team. It's a team, and we've got to play better on all 3 phases of the game if we're going to be good football teams. And that's whether it's Newberry, whether it's Wingate, whether it's LR, whether it's Bart, it doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah. And
I think what you're seeing in this league is, like I said, pretty balanced. I think this is a balanced league this year. I don't think that there's one team that's just head and shoulders above the others. And so I think there's a lot of parity in the league, which is probably a good thing. And we've got another tough contest coming up this week. And, we're not demoralized. We understand the things we got to do better. And I think we will do those things better.
Offensively, just before we get into the highlights, a game in which ran the ball well. I love what Courtney Jackson brought to the table. I love what Reggie Kellen brought to the table. Ivan he got real hot there at the end. I think you just want a little bit more consistency on that offense.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've got to open it up to me a little bit too. It's tough because there's some things that were there that we missed early on in the game, and I think and when those things happen, it gets a little bit harder to call at times. So. We'll get those things straight, and like I said, Ivan had some really good moments and some moments that were okay. We've got to find a way to get our big play guys the ball in their hands more in different ways, and we'll keep working on those things, trying to get better.
Kudos to the offensive line. Fantastic job after the spring to this year in the fall against Newberry. So take a look at the highlights. Tusculum and Newberry, as the Newberry Wolves would get the win 24-19 in this contest. A Pioneer team rallies 333 yards of total offense and holds Newberry to 254 yards of offense. Defense seemed to be very good, and again, you talked about some of the trick plays Newberry brought out. Thought you guys were on it, except for maybe the 2 plays you talked about.
Yeah, I mean, we did some, like I said, we did some good things. I thought we played really, really hard. That was that was the impressive aspect of it. I thought we played very, very hard throughout the game. We just didn't make enough plays at the right times. I mean, you see, we were close on some different things that we were doing. 24 is a heck of a football player. They're a very well coached team. But I love the way our guys were, tried to play physical, tried to play smart. Like you said, I thought we ran the ball efficiently, but we've got to be better overall, mixing that up, and we got to be better in the passing game. And I think if we can do those things, we'll get better. I mean, you just see, guys are playing hard. I mean, I'm proud of the way they played as far as how hard they played. We just got to make sure that we're doing a good job everywhere. Well, I thought Will Schoenbach had a nice day, caught several balls. You see a couple there. Again, nice run. We almost spit it out of there. Reggie's really, really close to going to the house right there. Good job of fits right here. Can't miss tackles. I thought we missed a few. We played really hard, but we missed too many tackles. We got to get back to that. I'm happy to see Witchard kind of get going. So we're able to add to him. He just hadn't played in a while. So and then a great run again here by Reggie. Good blocking on the perimeter. Heck of a job here. Got him open in the flat on a little rub play right here. I wish he'd have made this guy miss. If he had, we kind of had him on the ropes. Good throw out here to Ajiro, I believe. Gets out here and gets a nice little gain. And then up the middle, Courtney runs hard and, ends up getting into the end zone. And, kind of gets us going a little bit there. We were struggling. Great hit there. I thought this was an excellent play. Who was that? Tycorian Brown.
Yeah.
Heck of a play right there. I thought they got an unbelievable spot there for a first down. But overall, like I said, the way we flew around, I was very, very happy, with that aspect of it. We gave up some silly things on third down again, and we made a couple mistakes that can't happen. Like the way Tank ran to the ball right there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Brendan Nichols, that was a great job by him. You see Jihad Russ and a lot of this stuff. Jihad was all over the place. Jihad's not the tallest guy in the world. They were trying to run a quarterback draw here, and I think he just took too long, to run it. They were trying to run influence, and then they're down the goal line. This is after a muff punt, which really hurt us too. They ended up getting the field goal, which was kind of the difference. Could have been the difference of the game off that muff punt. Just made a bad mistake. But then we get out there and then, get Justice coming back with a score, come back. We're able to get, 3 and out them right away, gave ourselves a chance. Come back here with, a nice throw and catch over the middle right here, for a first down. Then we go with another pass. Like I said, I think he just got hot at the right time. Great catch, getting the foot down, again by Parham, who's playing really good football. Come back here, sell it, throw a little, double pass right here with Justice, who was a high school quarterback and a very good one. That helped us, and we got back in it. We just missed the onside kick at the end, and we gotta do a better job with that. I just think special teams wise, I've got some young guys on them. I got some young guys coaching them. We just got to do a better job from top to bottom, and they work at it as hard as anybody we have. We just got to keep doing the right things and keep moving forward in the proper areas.
Felt like one of the keys for Newberry, and he was awarded the Special Teams Player of the Week, was Gibson Marsh, and his ability to pin you guys inside the 20 and statistically driving the football 80 yards is always a lot more difficult to do that. So I felt like his punting was a key for their
Yeah, he did a nice job. He kicked away from us a couple different times, but we got to do a better job too of setting our guy, but he did kick away from us. Give him all the credit in the world. He kicked away from our returner a lot of times, and when you can get a punter that can directional kick like that and kick it away from the returner, it certainly makes your job a lot harder.
Andrew Cantrell punted. The last 2 days for games for Andrew Cantrell has been a very solid.
Yeah.
It was just unfortunate he had the one that was blocked. Yeah. And aside from that, it's difficult to recover any type of onside kick anymore in college, but any kind of.
Yeah, your chances are slim. It's 10%. We didn't execute it very well. What we were trying to do, we do work on that every Thursday and Friday. Didn't look like it, but our kicker that usually kicks that sprained his ankle. Like, we have a guy that usually kicks our onside kicks because that's not a Eduardo's thing. And when he sprained his ankle, it kind of put us in a little bit of a bind, and we had to go with Eduardo, and he had not practiced it as much. So because of that, he wasn't very good at it, and he didn't obviously understand how to wait for his guys to get set. Not his fault. I'll take all the blame on that.
You know, it is just one of those weird things. Again, you know, how it comes down to how it breaks. You're talking about a lot of parity. You got to have some breaks go your way. Unfortunately for the Pioneers, they didn't. Special teams, the punt block for the touchdown, missed field goal, missed extra point, just different things like that in a game that result in you having to do different things and coach a different way. And again, it's not necessarily the kid's fault. It's just the way the ball breaks a lot of times in football. And Newberry was able to take advantage of those breaks.
Well, at the end of the day, they made their own luck. I mean, you know, preparation meets opportunity. That's what they call luck.
Yeah.
And they were prepared. Like I said, they didn't do anything we didn't see and we didn't work on in practice on the punt block. We just have one guy that just kind of, you know, had a brain meltdown a little bit on that play, and that was unfortunate because he's done a great job all year. You know, and you know, it happens. It cannot happen in those situations, and he's got to get better at that, or we got to put somebody else in there. That's really what it comes down to.
From a telecaster, from a radio guy's perspective, very interesting spots on the day. Very quick whistles in some certain regards, potentially for return for a touchdown, potentially on a backwards pass or anything like that. So there's some strange things. But what you love about what this team did Saturday is just their intensity and how they played whistle to whistle at the end of the contest. Dre Harris was held 9-17. He threw for 71 yards on the day, and that was it. You hold Mario Anderson, the leading rusher in the South Atlantic Conference, the 8th leading rusher in the country, to just 55 yards.
I didn't know that.
The day. These are, you know, those are some things that you hate it because you hate for me to sit here and go, gosh, coach, you guys did a wonderful job, but you want the victory, you want the results.
Yeah, the W is really all that matters. That's the only stat that matters. I mean, I hate to tell you that. You know, like, your stats are really fun to look at, and they're great for guys like yourself, you know, but the only stat that matters is that one, the dub, you know, and we didn't get it. And that's not, you know, I don't think our kids are down in the dumps or anything else. They understand that we didn't play well enough in certain aspects to win, but we're as good as those other teams. We just got to keep playing and keep doing the little things right.
Pioneers didn't have Maurice Gamillion. That's a big veteran miss in the offensive backfield, but picking up the slack was Courtney Jackson and Reggie Kellum. Again, they rushed evenly, almost 100 yards combined on the day. Ivan Corbin on the day, 11 of 25, 183, and Justice Parham, his top target, for 82 yards, including the score. Again, in the fourth quarter, the Pioneers put up 2 touchdowns, and Parham, the high school quarterback, threw one. And I talked with him at the radio show this week, and I said, you know, that it was open. He goes, but man, that was a perfect pass. It was a tight spiral into coverage. And he says, I didn't see that guy coming. He came a little bit late. That was about as perfect a pass as you can throw.
Justice is a great athlete, and just kind of a neat guy. I mean, you know, he's kind of a laid-back guy. He doesn't seem like he's overly intense. He doesn't ever look like he's going anywhere very fast, but he's a very, very good player, and he's a great addition to our team, and he's a team guy. He's on my leadership council. He's a guy that I can count on. If I ask a question, he's going to give me an honest answer, you know, because I think that's important that we have a group of young men that I can talk to each week. We meet every Monday. We just talk about different things. Hey, where's the team? What do I need to do to help you guys be better? How can you guys help me be better? Just, you know, because really, people forget, you know, I'm the head coach and I got to be the boss, right? But at the end of the day, it's really truly a symbiotic relationship where you're having to work together to get to the common goal. And how I work and they work, if we don't come together and work together, you're not going to be as good as you can be. And I think we've got a good group of kids, and we just got to keep working at it and try to get better each week.
Witcher Gravel with 2 sacks on the day.
Yeah, I was happy for Witch.
And this is a team that doesn't give up sacks, period. Dre Harris does not get sacked. His 3rd sack.
Yeah, he took some shots. I think Dre took some pretty hard shots. We high-loaded him one time. When he didn't get sacked, he threw one away, and then he took a couple shots from Witchard. And, you know, like I said, our D-line played hard. I mean, it wasn't an effort thing, man. It really wasn't. It's where we got to clean up mistakes, you know, and that comes down to me, us coaches, you know, the kids, all just taking that little bit of extra time and effort. It had nothing to do, like Newberry played good. I mean, they played good, but they didn't play that much better than us. We gave them some things because of our mistakes, and that's the disappointing thing for me. I mean, the 2 blitzes that I called were right into what they were running, and we screwed them both up. Like we just didn't have a contain on one, and we screwed it and didn't go on the other one. And now all of a sudden, 2 touchdowns later, I'm sitting there going, "Oh my goodness, what what do I do?" But the effort is there, and that's what I want people to understand. Our kids are playing hard, and they care, and they want to do the right things, and we just got to keep them doing those things.
Anybody's game. We're going to talk about that coming up. But it is a South Atlantic Conference standings that typical here at the early start of the year, with the exception of only 2 unbeaten teams remaining. The Newberry Wolves at 2-0. Wingate, who did not play because of COVID-plagued Catawba last week, is 1-0. We're going to talk about that coming up. But when you talk about parity and you look at the scoreboard this past Saturday, Barton decimating a injury-plagued Limestone team, and UVA Wise gets a signature win against the king of the hill for so many years in the South Atlantic Conference, Carson Newman, who scored 17 points in now just 3 games. So there's a lot of parity in the South Atlantic Conference going on. We're going to talk a little bit more about that when the Pioneer Football Show continues. Tusculum and Wingate this Saturday. That's next here on the Pioneer Football Show.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County and you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
Pioneers against nationally ranked Wingate at the time of our recording of this. They're 13th in the country. They could move up. They didn't play last week, and the Pioneers will take on the Bulldogs under the lights at Irwin Belk Stadium in Wingate, North Carolina this coming Saturday. We're going to kick it off at 6 o'clock. And I love Joe Wright teams because they don't beat themselves. They're just some guys that they go about their business. They know what they're doing. He's the longest tenured coach now in the South Atlantic Conference outside of Tim Clifton. Right. And these 2 guys, those 2 guys get everything done. But Joe, nice guy in the league.
Super guy.
And, and what they do schematically is what they've always done since he stepped foot one.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, they're super sound. I mean, you're going to get 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends, with a bunch of motions, trades, movements, shifts, pro style concepts, but they'll still throw RPOs off of those pro style concepts, and then they'll get an 11 and 10, and they're going to do what they do, and they're going to do it very well. They're big up front, good run blockers. I mean, really, road grader type guys. Got a humongous tight end, number 2. Is 6'7", 260 at tight end. He's got 10 catches on the year. Good football player. 84 is probably their leading receiver. Big white kid that's 6'2", 215 wide out that runs good post. Run the post. Plays one of their outside positions. 3 and 14 work the slots for them. I mean, they got 42 and 46 that'll play like a fullback / tight end position. And then a very good running back in Peebles, and they're deep at the running back position. His backup's a pretty solid player too. And then it goes to Shaw Crocker, who's a coach's kid, I believe, and understands the game of football. He's been a starter there for 3 or 4 years and understands their scheme extremely well. Probably not as athletic as a couple of guys that we've seen this year, but runs good enough to hurt you, extend the play, accurate arm. They're just going to do what they do defensively. 4 men up front. They're going to be sound. They're going to, they're going to blitz a little bit. Play some quarters, some 3-roll. They're going to, just do some fire zone stuff with it. They'll man a little bit. I mean, they're a very sound group. Kickers are good. I mean, they got a big kicker that boots the heck out of the ball. They're a good football team. They're the 13th ranked football team in the country for a reason. But again, I think we're looking forward to the challenge. I mean, we felt like the last 3 years, I think we've only won 1 out of the last 3 or whatever, but I think it's been close. Pretty much every game we played, it's been kind of like this Newberry thing. You know, we got to just get over the hump and find a way to make those extra plays to win the game, because we're hanging in there, we're battling. We lose by 2, we lose by 4, lose by 7. And when you lose, and then if we won, I think we won by 7. So I mean, it was kind of back and forth like that. So they've always been close games. You understand what you're getting with the Joe Wright team. I think you said it best. They're not going to beat themselves. They're going to be very physical. They're going to be sound, and they're going to do what they do, and they're going to try to do it better than you. And you've got to understand what you've got to do, and you've got to meet them on that same amount of discipline, fundamentals, and everything else. And that's what we got to get going this week.
It's a Pioneer football team that will take on Wingate. And when you go based on the preseason rankings, what the coaches think, key stretch right now for the Pioneers: Newberry, Wingate, Lenore-Ryan, and then 2 of those on the road over the next couple of weeks. And it'll be interesting, obviously, just for the Pioneers on the road. We spent the last 3 weeks at home, so now another road trip for that game. And I know it doesn't bother you. And actually, I think to get away may even help these guys a little bit.
At the end of the day, road trips, I think they're 3.5, 4 hours. I mean, it's not a super long drive. Watch a couple movies, watch some TV on the bus. You're there. I mean, to me, home field advantage is an advantage just because you get to sleep in your own bed or something like that. But there's not a big enough crowd here. We're not dealing with 80,000 people. We're having to hand signal everything in and everything else. I think it is an advantage, obviously, because they don't have to travel, but it's not a huge advantage to me. In fact, like you said, sometimes I like it more because you pull in those 75 or 73 or so kids, and those are the guys that you're pulling in close with your team, and you all kind of getting together and saying, hey, we're going out there by ourselves. It's us against the world. Let's go play football. And I think sometimes that's the most fun that you have when you're playing ball.
Respect all, fear none.
Respect all, fear none.
The Tusculum Pioneers and the Wingate Bulldogs this Saturday. You can watch the game. Wingate will have a nice video feed of that contest. You can check that out on TusculumPioneers.com. Go to the schedule of the football team, and you can see the live video stream. You can also listen, because Joe and I will be quite entertaining. Typically, we try to be. Our coverage will begin at 5. We'll kick it off at 6 o'clock from Irwin Belk Stadium. The lights, where Wingate now says we're playing night football every game. We'll get home at 2 or 3. It's okay. We'll be okay. He's Pioneer coach.
Sleep when you're dead.
Exactly. Right. Coach Jerry Odom. Thanks to Doug Page and all of those, the communications department here at Tusculum. Until Saturday, when we chat with you then, I'm Brian Staten saying, go Pioneers.